Hello everybody, my name is Lucky Luxray, and today I'm bringing you Week 9 of the NCPL Season 7 Commander Draft League. This week we are going up against Connor, whose team consists of Darmanitan, Gastrodon, Golisopod, Ditto, Jolteon, Sceptile, Mr. Mime Gallarform, Guzzlord, and Carbink. So let's dive right into it after I introduce my lovely guest, Florian. Welcome back, buddy.
Hey, hey.
How does it feel to be on your third team builder with me?
Yeah. I guess that's just where I belong now. This is my channel now.
This is both mine and Flo's channel now, so I hope that's okay with you guys. He will be in every single video from now on, including the one where I battle him. I have decided that he's going to build my team for me, and he is going to battle me with that team. Or I'm going to battle him with that team, so.
No, it's fine. You can use my team. I'm going to use your team.
Either works. It doesn't matter. With that being said, let's start off with the first Pokemon. Good old Primrose, the Primarina. This week we are bringing a physically defensive set with Protect, Substitute, Toxic, and Moonblast. Leftovers with the as the item and Torrent as the ability. So why FizzDev Primarina, Flo?
So the biggest threat on Connor's team is Darmanitan. And Darmanitan mainly relies on Flare Blitz damage. And it doesn't really switch into anything, honestly. And Connor rarely plays heavy-duty boots. So Darmanitan is easily chipped. And because of that, Primarina as FizzDev can switch into it every single time. And it's the most safe way to deal with it. And it still threatens the team with the Moonblast, and the Subtoxic really deals well with the only Primarina switch in being Gastrodon. So, yeah, That's why FizzDev Primarina is probably going to be a great set.
I agree with that 100%. Flo said that this needed to be physically defensive, and I agreed with him. And then I came up with a set of Protect, Sub, and Toxic, just to be annoying. And Moonblast is just a spammable move if I need to. If Primarina's behind a sub, I can just click Moonblast safely. If he brings in Gastrodon, then I can just go ahead and Toxic back behind a sub. But no matter what, I feel like if Darmanitan's in, after he clicks a Flare Blitz, I'm substituting right after that. When he can find out what his switch is, and then if he brings in, let's say, Jolteon, for example, I can Protect to see what he wants to go for, if he is a choice set that I expect him to bring, or if he decides to bring in Sceptile. If that's substitute, I can just Moonblast before he starts setting up with Swords Dances. And overall, this is just going to be a very, very annoying Pokemon for him to deal with, I believe. Would you agree with that, Flo?
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
And if this ever gets too weak to the point to where I don't want to keep this in on a Gastrodon, then I have the perfect counter to it that Robin suggested. But we'll get into that when we get to the last Pokemon. But next up, we have Lux, the Luxray, my boy, the good boy, with Volt Switch, Play Rough, Thunder Wave, and Toxic. We're going dual status again. This time with special defense investment with Intimidate. And so why did we go with specially defensive?
Mainly because of Jolteon.
Yep.
Because as Primarina is the main physically defensive tank, the biggest weaknesses of it are Sceptile and Jolteon. For Sceptile, there's going to be something else later.
Yep.
But Jolteon specifically has very few switch-ins, honestly. Electric is, especially with this squad, a little bit rough. You don't really want to switch in like a Noivern or Silvally into the Thunderbolt or Volt Switch. So Luxray is going to be the big one to take these hits. And retaliating with the Thunder Wave and Toxic against basically everything that switches in.
Yep. I don't anticipate clicking Play Rough at all unless Luxray is the only thing I have left to deal with Guzzlord, if needed. That's really the only reason why Play Rough is there. Play Rough does, I think it's like 60-something to 70-something on Guzzlord with Play Rough at minus minus attack nature. But Volt Switch is going to be the thing I click most of the time. If Gastrodon gets brought in, I have 2 checks to that, one being Primarina, the other one being Toxicroak, which I'll get into. And then Luxray is also going to be very annoying with Thunder Wave, slowing things down. For instance, if he brings in Sceptile, I can Thunder Wave that thing right away and cripple it. Absolutely make sure that thing is outsped by pretty much everything on my squad. And then Toxic is if he wants to switch in Gastrodon on it, or just if he wants to bring in anything that might possibly want to take a hit, and I can just get some chip damage on with the Toxic. So next up, we have our Sceptile switch in, and this is one of my favorite sets that Flo has come up with. He suggested it to me, and we tweaked around the moveset. But this Ellie the Miltank is Choice Scarf with Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Frustration, and Heavy Slam with the Sap Sipper ability. So, Flo, would you like to explain why this Miltank is Choice Scarf?
So yeah, Miltank just naturally outspeeds everything in his team aside from Sceptile and Jolteon and its speed ties with Mr. Mime. However, you don't really want to take hits from those, especially because Sceptile could play like a Focus Blast, and Jolteon just generally does a lot of damage.
Yep.
And you can't really play Miltank physically defensive because Darmanitan just breaks through it with superpowers and such. So going the offensive way is, I think, a really good option this week because he only has a single normal resist in Carbink, which gets dealt with very well with the Heavy Slam. And the Earthquake just because it deals more damage to Darmanitan and Jolteon, and decent damage to Carbink, depending on what the field gives at the time.
Yep. So, Flare Blitz to a full invested, physically defensive Miltank with Thick Fat does 23 to 28. And then right after that, he can do Superpower, and that does 48 to 57. Now, that's kind of a check, but not good enough for me to be comfortable with it. So we decided that this is going to be more of an offensive Miltank, and just go ahead and spam Frustration. And the reason why we have Frustration over Return is because of the Ditto. If he brings Ditto, I'm going to 100% assume that that is going to be max happiness, because who's going to bring a Choice Scarf Miltank with Frustration? Nobody, except for me, because Flo is a genius.
Yes.
And then the Heavy Slam is obviously for the Carbink. That's going to Oko it. No, not Oko, but it's going to do a lot of damage to the Carbink if that's what he decides to lead versus me. But I feel like if he leads Carbink, I'm going to click Stealth Rock anyway and then switch out, because I don't really... Rocks are really important in this match, I think, when it comes to letting Miltank do a lot of damage by clicking Frustration a lot.
Yeah, that way you can also bluff that you're not Choice.
Correct.
That you're still a defensive set, and he might actually stay in with something like Jolteon on the Miltank or with the Darmanitan, and you might get a free kill out of that.
Right, because it's going to be mind games with this Miltank, because if I click Stealth Rock turn 1 versus him, if he leads Carbink, then he's not going to think I'm Scarf later on in the match. If he leads Jolteon, he's going to assume that this is going to be defensive, and I'm going to click Stealth Rock, and he's probably going to want to Volt Switch out to get momentum and whatnot. Earthquake has a 50% chance to Oko non-invested Jolteon, which I'm going to assume he's going to have a little bit of HP invested into it, but even then, it's still going to do a lot of damage, and as soon as I get Rocks up again, then that Jolteon's gone, unless it's Heavy Duty Boots, in which case, nobody's going to ever do that. And same with Darmanitan. If he leads Darmanitan to want to get a free Superpower off or free Flare Blitz, I always go into Primarina because Superpower is going to do a lot of damage. But it's still to scare it later on mid-game if Darmanitan, because I don't think Earthquake ever Okos Darmanitan in this battle, no matter what, even if I'm at max, even if he's not invested, I believe.
Oh, and by the way, the Miltank actually has the Sap Sipper for the Sceptile, which, as if you remember, I mentioned before, Primarina, it's one of the checks for Primarina. So you can switch into Sap Sipper, And at +1, the Frustration actually OHKOs a lot of his moves, like Darmanitan, Jolteon, Sceptile. They all fall to the Scarf Frustration when it's at +1.
Yep. And if he wants to bring in Ditto after I pressure his team with the Choice Scarf Frustration, we have a few Pokemon that can deal with that. And as you'll notice, as we go down the movesets, if he brings in Ditto on Miltank, our next Pokemon, which is Azure the Noivern, can take care of it because Heavy Slam isn't going to do anything. It's base 40 power, I believe you said?
Yeah, exactly, base 40.
And then he's going to be Max Happiness for return. And then Earthquake is not going to hit Azure because it's a flying type. But Azure's set is Life Orb with the ability Infiltrator, with U-Turn, Draco Meteor, Hidden Power Steel, and Roost. Hidden Power Steel is obviously for the Carbink if needed, and other than that, Draco is fully spammable. Go ahead and talk about it, Flo.
Yeah, exactly. Basically just what it says on the tin right there. No Dragon resists outside of the Carbink, which gets 2-hit KO'd by the Hidden Power Steel. A bit of momentum grabbing with the U-Turn. Just in general a good set. Like the Roost is also pretty good, especially like against the Ditto, because I believe Heavy Slam does at +1 maximum 25% damage, so you can roost up the Life Orb damage you take on that.
Yep.
And yeah.
And if
Not
rocks are up, yeah, exactly. If rocks are up, I can take 25% and then heal it off with Roost if I need to as well. It's to preserve longevity if I need to. If clicking a move that would do damage isn't the optimal option for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you've noticed, our team so far has only had like 1 or 2 moves, barring Ellie, that can hit a Steel-type Pokemon. So the idea of this next Pokemon of Incursio, the Silvally Steel, is that if he decides to bring Ditto in on one of my Pokemon, then he's not going to have a fun time breaking a Steel type, because all of the moves that we have resist it, barring Ellie's Earthquake, but then we discussed that Azure, the Noivern, can go ahead and switch in on a Ditto to Ellie. So, Incursio, which is the Silvally Steel again, his set is Rest, Sleep Talk, Multi-Attack, Sword Stance. This is going to be Mono Steel coverage, and you're thinking to yourself probably right now that half of his team resists the Steel type. But then again, I have Sword Stance. And he has a Ditto that's going to want to switch out after that because he's not going to want to take a lot of damage without healing off because it's Choice Scarf. And this is especially defensive. So, Flo, go ahead and talk about this set and why we chose it.
Yeah, basically, as you just said, like half his team resists Steel, but those Steel resists aren't really amazing. Like Darmanitan still takes 30 to 40%. Jolteon still probably also takes like 35%. And even Gastrodon doesn't really do anything against it. It's just setup bait, waits until it's at +6, and then gets hit by a strong multi-attack anyways. Because even with the Earth Power, you can just rest and Sleep Talk. Mm-hmm. So there isn't really anything the mons can do that resists Steel. And the mons that don't resist Steel, they don't really want to stay in there. So that's gonna be really, really rough to deal with for him.
Right. Now, the only thing that worries me about the Gastrodon is if it is Earthquake instead of Earth Power, because Earth Power still does 34% minimum.
Yeah.
But Earthquake does about 50%, I think, max. Which is still a problem, but then again, I do still have 2 counters to it, and I wouldn't ever really set up Silvally without having either chip damage on Gastrodon or it completely dead.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't really want to set up on the Gastrodon if you can avoid it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just a last resort that it's a possibility. But usually you want to set up on other mons. Like, for example, like the Mr. Mime would be great. The Ditto on a switch out would be great.
Yep. The Carbink as well.
Yeah, very much so.
That is all setup bait. And then if he goes into... if I don't see Gastrodon or Golisopod this battle, oh my goodness. Silvally's going to have an absolute field day against his team.
Yeah, especially once the Darmanitan is off the board, because that's, in that case, the only mon that can actually threaten you, which is very well handled with the Primarina.
Mm-hmm.
Then, once that's off the board, Silvally can do a lot of work.
Absolutely. And so we've spoken about this Pokemon in brief, like, spoiler-type stuff, but this is our absolute any time of the day Gastrodon switch in. So this is going to be Toxicroak, Chronic the Toxicroak with Air Balloon and Dry Skin. Air Balloon to absolutely negate the ground type attacks that he's going to go for with Gastrodon, and then Dry Skin to absolutely nullify the water type moves that he's going to go for with Gastrodon. And you're thinking, okay, so then Toxic, but Toxicroak is a poison type. So absolutely nothing that Gastrodon wants to do is going to happen to Toxicroak. So, Toxicroak here is the Nasty Plot set with Sludge Wave, Sucker Punch, and Substitute as well. With max special attack and enough speed to outspeed Adamant, Darmanitan, with the rest just dumped into HP. So, Robin actually suggested this set with Nasty Plot and Sludge Wave, because Sludge Wave is going to do a lot of damage to his team with, I think, 1 resistance in Gastrodon. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah.
And then if he wants to Ditto that, then Silvally, again, just comes in and is like, hey, how you doing, Ditto? You're not going to do anything to me because I am a Steel type. And then Substitute is there in case he brings in something with Ditto, and I'm like, okay, now you can't do anything to me on Toxicroak, or for even Gastrodon. If I bring it in on Gastrodon, I can get a free Substitute right away. Then I can Nasty Plot up, and Sucker Punch actually does a lot to Mr. Mime, enough to 2-hit KO it. So if he wants to hit me to break my sub, I can Sucker Punch it and do a lot of damage that way. Same if I'm at +2 Sludge Wave. What are your comments on this set, Flo?
Yeah, basically exactly the same. Like, nothing is really gonna want to stay in once it's in, because the Sludge Wave is so spammable. And Sucker Punch also, like, deals pretty significant damage if, like, the offensive part of his team is already chipped. Like, it does a lot of damage on Darmanitan, it does quite a lot on Jolteon and Sceptile, which are faster.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you necessarily want to click, because Sludge Wave does more, but it's a way, if they're already chipped down, to get them off the field without, like, breaking the sub. Or
exactly, yeah. It's if they are in range and I want to keep my Substitute, or if I want to get them off the board and not worry about them later on, then I can just go ahead and click Sucker Punch. Not to mention that anything that Golisopod also wants to go for, when it comes, like, to Liquidation, this eats up, and same with the Bug move. So, I mean, this is my Gastrodon and Golisopod switching, I believe.
Yeah, as long as the Air Balloon is intact, it just nullifies Gastrodon.
Yep.
And by nature, it just nullifies Golisopod completely.
And if he wants to bring Ice Beam on Gastrodon, good for him. He did it. The prep is good. I would see why, because I have Noivern and Torterra. But I mean,
yeah.
If he doesn't have Ice Beam, or if he has Ice Beam over either Scald or Earthquake, then that's going to be even better for Silvally, I think. If he has it over Earthquake, especially any ground coverage. If he's 3 attacks recovered, that's going to be annoying, but I'll deal with it eventually. With, like, a Toxic from Primarina, or maybe a Toxic from Luxray.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, Flo, do you have any other comments when it comes to this team? What team do you think he's going to bring, and what do you think I should lead versus him?
I believe he's going to bring something along the lines of, like, of course, Darmanitan, it's his captain. The Gastrodon is basically the only existing Primarina switch-in.
Yep.
So he's probably going to bring that. I really see the Jolteon and Sceptile, so I believe he's probably going to bring both of them. But I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves one of them out. But probably in that case, Sceptile, because Jolteon is so good.
I agree.
Carbink, I believe he wants the rocks up, and maybe even the screens. That seems pretty good. And for the last mon, it's either gonna be like Ditto, because there's a lot of stuff that Ditto can copy theoretically if it's not prepped for, that could threaten a lot of stuff.
On my team, yeah, I agree with that. Like, a lot of Pokemon on my team are really good against my team.
Yeah. Which is why we prepped so much that it doesn't work.
Exactly, yeah.
So either Ditto, the Mr. Mime could come in because of the hazards, because it's his only hazard removal.
Yep.
So if he wants to get rid of the rocks.
I anticipate that being heavy-duty boots if he does do that.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think those are the most likely ones. I don't really see Golisopod or Guzzlord, not because they're necessarily bad, but because I think the others are more necessary.
Yeah, I don't anticipate Guzzlord coming to this because that's a free Primarina switch in any day of the week, and that's a free Moonblast that he does not have a resist for. So I don't think he's going to bring Guzzlord. If he does, then that's easier for me, I think.
Yeah.
I think
Very.
I think Darmanitan, Gastrodon, Jolteon, Carbink, and the last one is up in the air. It's between Ditto and Mr. Mime for me.
Yeah.
Or did I say Mr. Mime already? Darmanitan, Gastrodon, Jolteon, Carbink, Mr. Mime, and Sceptile or Ditto.
Yeah.
That okay. I'll go with that one. That's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so then what do you think the lead is or should be? Because I have an idea on what mine should be, but we talked about it, and I've already explained to you.
Yeah. I have like two ideas. I think I said both of them already. Depending on how the team looks, like he should definitely bring Jolteon, and if he does, I think Miltank is the best lead because it's a good lead against Carbink, it's a good lead against Jolteon, and on Darmanitan you have the safe switch of Primarina.
Yep.
And I think those are really the only mons that I believe he would lead with. Very likely.
I agree with that as well.
If he does not bring Jolteon for whatever reason, I would lead with Primarina, because that way you generally get a free sub up because he's probably gonna lead with Carbink or Darmanitan in that case.
Yes. So it's between Primarina and Ellie, but I'm leaning more towards Ellie because Jolteon is such a big threat to this team. So I feel like if he brings Jolteon and he leads with it, then I can get a free Earthquake on and potentially Oko the Jolteon right away and make myself not have to worry about it whatsoever. And if I don't have to worry about Jolteon, then Luxray can have more like sack potential. Other than that, I have to keep Luxray pretty healthy because that's my switch into Jolteon.
Yeah.
And that'll be less times I can click Thunder Wave and Toxic or Volt Switch or any stuff like that. Because I feel like if I bring Luxray, then his most likely switch into this would be Gastrodon, and I can get a free Toxic off on it.
Yeah, exactly. Gastrodon does really not does like anything Luxray learns, especially when it's not the Guts set.
Right. So that is the team. Flo, do you have anything else to say before we transition into the battle?
Not really. Just have a good time and get the dub so you're safe in the playoffs, and I don't have to worry about you falling out of playoffs because I'm gonna beat you.
Oh, okay. All right. Just wait until 2 weeks come up. I have some spicy stuff planned for our battle, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll see about
it. All right. I will see you guys in the battle. All right. So Connor's team is Darmanitan, Guzzlord, Mr. Mime, Carbink, Jolteon, and Ditto. So I see no Gastrodon, which means or Golisopod, which means Moonblast from Primarina is almost free. Like 90% of the time it is free. I still think I lead Miltank. And like we said in the team builder, if he leads Darmanitan, I switch into Primarina. Have fun. Miltank. Yep. No, Sceptile is nice. Because really, I mean, he has Freeze Drive from Mr. Mime as another Primarina check. So, I mean... Okay. One thing I noticed as well is that... Toxicroak is kind of useless. Sucker Punch can help a lot. But Sludge Wave, I mean... Sludge Wave, not useless. Okay, I shouldn't say useless, because Sludge Wave is very spammable. So is... Sovali Steel. Wow, Sovali Steel is spammable as well. If I get a +2 on that, on, let's say, Carbink, then that's a nice Smackarino. Jolteon, this is the scenario. This is the scenario that I thought of. If I can get rid of Jolteon turn 1, that would be fantastic. Is this something I want to do now? Is this something I want to do? Miltank, I want to calculate one last time. Jolteon, he will have enough speed to outspeed Max Noivern, which means he will have 56 HP IVs, which means he will have 285 HP, which means Earthquake does 91.2 to 108. I'm clicking it. Let's go, baby! Prep works out. That's what I like to see. That is what I like to see. The prep! The prep! Yes! 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 Oh my god. I love when prep works out exactly how you think it should. That's hype as shit. I can't even be mad. Yeah, okay, see, like, I'm glad he understands. Yes! That is the scenario that I wanted to happen. That is the... Oh my gosh, I love when that happens. I love when that works out. That's exactly what I wanted. Now Jolteon can't... Oh my gosh, yes! That's fantastic. Now I think Luxray is my Guzzlord switch-in. Kind of. If he goes Ditto here, just to see what my set is, I go Noivern. And I think I click U-turn or HP Steal. I think I click U-turn. But, man, I love when good prep works out like that. That's a 50% roll, unless he's not invested in HP. If he's not invested in HP at all, it does 95.9 to 113.6, which is a 75%. Noivern, 100%. He goes... We as in me and Flo have gone through these scenarios more than one time. So Noivern is my switch-in 100% of the time. And hopefully he doesn't notice that. Noivern. Oh, that's free rocks. Alright, yeah. And I yep, U-turn. Do I get up my rocks? Or do I just go into Incursio and Sword Stains? What do I do here? What do I do here? What do I do here? Well, actually, that's Calc, right? Noivern. I could have HP Steeled there, but I mean, I didn't really want to because I feel like I have counters to this. I kind of want Rocks Up. Or I can go into Primarina and substitute. I want to see how much U-turn did to the Carbink. Especially defensive takes 5.2 to 5.9. Does Fizz Def even take 5? Bold. Fizz Def takes 4.6, so I mean, shoot. Alright, that's fine. That is leftovers, and I'm going to assume that is starting. So I mean, I'm going to substitute here. I feel like, because that's safe. He's not going to want to stay in on a water move, potentially. He's probably going to, what, go into Mr. Mime? If he goes Mr. Mime, I can go into Luxray, I think. Mr. Mime is his biggest threat to me. So if I get chip damage on that, then Toxicroak can do a lot of damage. I should have HP Steeled. I should have just went for it. Because I mean, either I got max roll on Fizz Def, or I got min roll on Spidef. So I mean, it doesn't really. I don't really know. But let's say that was. Oh. Okay. Well, I'm going to protect. Do I Moonblast this? How much does Moonblast do? How much does Moonblast do? I mean, I could Toxic this, but would damage be more beneficial? I think Toxic would be better. Moonblast, obviously, he's Scarf. Oh, that's not fun. Well, I guess, I mean, I'll get the free Protect off, but... how much does Moonblast do? How much does Primarina do to Primarina, I guess? This is a weird thing to calc, even though, I mean... It does 30 to 35? Do I want to risk that? Or do I want HP on this? Oh, I'm going Solali. This is what we prep for. Moonblast. Ooh, crit me. Now, do I multi-attack? Or do I double into Ellie to get rocks? I'll just multi-attack. I mean, that's free damage on what? Darmanitan, and then I can go Primarina afterwards. He knows my set, so he's not going to... he's not going to want... what am I thinking? He's gonna stay in on Primarina with Carbink and Darmanitan. Maybe not, because Sub Toxic is good against Carbink. It's good against all of these now. Guzzlord especially. I mean, Primarina is the Guzzlord. Check. Multi-attack. Alright. So let's do some calculations. So Volley Steel to Guzzlord. That is not Guzzlord, that is Luxray. Guzzlord. So no HP takes 29.6 to 34.9. What if this is max HP? Oh, that's not true. Because that's defense investment. 34.9. So if he's max HP, it takes 31.9 to 37, which I think he is. I think I'm just gonna go Luxray to intimidate it and then eat a special attack. Knock off. That's okay. All right. Now does Play Rough? Or do I Toxic or Volt Switch here? Do I Toxic, Volt Switch, Thunder Wave? So actually, let's do some calcs here. -1. How much does Luxray take? Luxray takes from knockoff 48.7. At max attack, so that's also choice band. So let's do none. He's probably Assault Vest. It does 32, so he is max attack. I could Play Rough raw. He's not going to expect it, is he? He definitely is. He's going to switch out into a different mon, but that's fine. Critical hit, I guess. Do I Volt Switch into Rocks? I really want Rocks up, I think. The crit on Carbink, does that tell me? Did I figure out if that's especially defensive, or again, I guess that could be specially defensive or physically. I guess I can Toxic this, because once this is gone, I can Draco freely. So I'm gonna Toxic this. Toxic. Does he have Earth Power? He has Body Press. That's fine. Ooh, that would have been interesting to deal with. I guess I can Volt Switch. Volt Switch. Chronic is useful for Sucker Punch. I think I can just go Primarina for free, though. I think Primarina's free. Is he going to do Body Press? Moonblast? That's fine. That does not break a sub. Which is 100% what I am going for. Substitute. What do you have for this? This is going to be annoying, and I'm A-okay with it. Because I sub, Toxic. Hopefully I land this time. Protect to get some HP back, and then pivot around as needed. Does Body Press? No, this is Fizz Def. I know this is getting weakened for Darmanitan, but if he's Scarf, I mean, that's a problem. But, like, what am I thinking? I mean, Darmanitan's going to be, like, if he clicks Flare Blitz enough, I mean, I have Scarf, Miltank, so that's, granted, that's enough for Adamant, which I think he will be. I don't think he'll be max. I think he will be Adamant. I mean, he might be max to outspeed Scarf. What's my Scarf 95 base? Houndoom? I guess. But sub is free here. And then I can Toxic, Mr. Mime, that's fine. Yep. Do I protect? Toxic protect. I think I protect. I protect. Yep, freeze dry. I knew that was coming. I get a free Toxic. Please don't miss this time, Primarina. Yep, as expected. Nice land. That's nice. And then protect again. Now what is my switching? He's gonna freeze dry one more time, right? Or does he Focus Blast? How much does Sucker Punch do? Toxic Rope, Sucker Punch. This could be Specs or Scarf. I don't throw out Ellie. Whenever Ellie comes in, I get a free kill with Heavy Slam. Well, not free kill with Heavy Slam because Guzzlord's there, but Toxicroak is an insane Pokemon to throw out here. But it could work, I think. Because if he clicks Freeze Dry again, what is Mr. Mime? Let's say it's Choice Scarf, right? Freeze Dry does 40 to 49. That's fine. I'll just go Toxicroak, see what happens. Does it click Psychic Move? He does not. My balloon. Sucker Punch does 62.2 to 73. Do I click it here? Does he know that I can have Sucker Punch? Or do I just Sludge Wave? Sludge Wave? I mean, I feel like no matter what, Sucker Punch is fine. I mean, unless he goes Guzzlord. But he wants to keep this for Primarina, right? Because if he doesn't have this for Primarina, then that's a problem for him. I'm substituting. Yep. Oh no, what are you going to do? Okay, I mean, I Sludge Wave. He has to Sludge Wave. He's probably thinking, why does this man not have any coverage for steel types? And it's because, one, you don't have one, and two, my Silvally wins. So I can just click multi-attack. Because whatever move you go for, buddy. Yep, unless you double out into Darmanitan, which you very well could. I'm going Silvally. This Darmanitan is still a problem. Yeah, this Darmanitan's still a problem. Like, I shouldn't discount it. I don't win this yet. There's a lot of... Okay. Interesting double. Does Earthquake kill Silvally? Silvally... Miltank. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Guzzlord. Earthquake, yes, Earthquake kills. I'm just going to sack Luxray. Intimidate. And then I get in Miltank. No, I don't. I get in, Azure. No, I get in Primarina. Yeah, that's fine. Beast Boost, that's okay. I think I just click, Moonblast. Moonblast is free, I think. Or would Toxic be freer? Freer. I think Moonblast is better, honestly. Moonblast gets chip off on something. I should have put rocks up turn... well, no, not turn 1. Turn 1, I didn't need the rocks. Because getting rid of Jolteon's nice. But I feel like Moonblast is still a good enough play. 2-hit KOs... everything, and I can not everything, but Darmanitan. Is he gonna go Darmanitan? He doesn't go Darmanitan here. Does he stay in? I don't think there's a world he stays in, right? Right? In absolutely 0 worlds does he stay in. Because if he gets rid of this, that's a problem. And Mr. Mime comes in, takes a Moonblast, and then does what? Yeah, Ditto, that's fine. Ooh, that's a 2-hit KO, brother. Protect to get some HP. I mean, you could also double out into Darmanitan, I guess. Which is fine. Which is fine as a pivot. But again, I mean, if I Toxic that, then that's a problem for him. Because that's enough chip damage, I think, for Frustration. Because I think now Frustration wins, barring Carbink. But how much does Frustration do to Carbink? Carbink. Just 15 to 18. And he has Body Press. Yeah, that's fine. Do you have sub? Please don't be sub Belly Drum. I Toxic this, right? I'm just going to Toxic this. If this is sub Belly Drum, it is game over. Now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe not, because I have Infiltrator. I lied. Okay, that's fine. Wonderful. Wonderful. That is exactly what Primarina is here for. I do not need Primarina anymore. Maybe as a Guzzlord check, but even then, what does Primarina take from Darmanitan? Showdown usage, it takes, that is, nope, it's Life Orb. Life Orb? It takes 41 to 43 point, 42 to 49.3, so that is what we thought. I can Protect. That's free Toxic. What are you going to go on to, Mr. Mime? And then after that, I get another free Toxic, or a free Switch, or a free Protect. My gosh, I cannot think. But Protect on this, or Toxic sub, Toxic Moonblast, Protect was a deadly set for him. Now his team is all chipped, and Frustration / Earthquake wins. I have enough sacks to where I think that's fine. Do I want Primarina? Do I need Toxicroak? Toxicroak is nice for Sucker Punch, I think. Who do I not need? I think Primarina actually is my least valuable member, because he knows I have Sucker Punch now, right? But I guess he can go into Ditto at any point. But then I can go into Silvally, so he has to double on that. I just have to think who is my least valuable member. Right? Least valuable member. Is it Primarina? Yeah, I think it is, because I got Toxics off. I mean, no, maybe not, because Guzzlord's still a problem. Guzzlord's still a huge problem, so maybe Toxicroak? Because I can go Toxicroak. And then go Azure. Because this beats... Whenever Guzzlord... No, I mean... this is a tough call. This is a very tough call. Because after this, I can go into Ellie. And if I Heavy Slam, then Frustration wins, right? Because what does Frustration do to... Frustration kills Darmanitan at 60%, which is what he will be if he stays in. If he clicks U-turn, he'll go down to 50, so that's fine. If he's Life Orb. Guzzlord, how much does Guzzlord take if he's not invested in defense? But he has max HP. Frustration does 33 to 39, which is a 2-hit KO at this range. Maybe. 60, let's say 68%. 68%. Frustration has a 99.6 chance to 2-hit KO. Okay. Which then means... I should have had Defog on Azure. Which then means he, what? Heavy Slams, Dracos, knocks off? He'll probably knock off, if anything. But, you know, to each their own. What do I sack here? Is Sucker Punch on Toxicroak useful, or is it not? Because what is Toxicroak going to be in on? Carbink? Maybe. Do I keep Prim alive? Because whenever Guzzlord comes in, Sorry, I'm taking so long to think. I just don't know which is the best sack. Because I guess Noivern can win. In theory. I think Toxicroak's the play. Yep. What are you going to do? Flare Blitz? That's fine. Yep. 6%. 18. Now I can go Ellie. In just Frustration or Heavy Slam? Do I have Frustration? Because 35... What? So Primarina. Carbink. Body Press does that much. Moonblast does 17. Right. And that does not add up together to do that. Maybe he has Earth Power or something. But this, I can click and go into... Let's assume that Mr. Mime is not Scarf. Right? Do I click Earthquake here? Miltank. To Carbink, Earthquake does 40 to that. And how much does it do to Guzzlord? With just max HP, no defense. Earthquake does 22 to 26, which is not a 2-hit KO when it comes to Frustration. So, I mean, I go Ellie here. Always. Now, based on what do I click? I think I can go ahead and click Frustration. Or maybe Stealth Rock, late game Stealth Rock. Late game Stealth Rock would be nice, I think. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Because what is he going to do? He's going to go Carbink, I can go Primarina. His switch in is Carbink or it's Guzzlord. Either work. But I do think Miltank wins me the game here. I don't know which one I click. This is Sap Sipper as well. How much? You know what? I'm just going to click Frustration to not risk it. Yeah. Mr. Mime's a neat sack, I think. And if he goes Ditto, okay, Carbinked. I can go Primarina. Does he double here? What does he do? I go Primarina. This should live. Oh! Oh no, actually, that's bad for him. That's really bad for him. Wow. I'm so sorry. That's actually very big for him. Because now I can get a free sub, and that is drastic to him. Because he's forced to go into Ditto, right? Because he's forced to sack another Mon. Oh, Jesus. Now I think I still won anyway, but it's hypothetical. Yeah, I do get a free sub here. Actually, I think I get a free protect if anything. Yeah, I'll sub. I think sub is the play no matter what. That toxic miss is very, very crucial. Yeah, I don't know what to say other than like I'm sorry. Wow. Because that lets me get a free sub. Because he can't really do anything back. And I don't know how much Primarina can do to Carbink. Does 26 max. 22 minimum. But I mean, he can Moonblast after I sub. I can protect, get more HP. I mean, his Ditto's now gone, which means I think Silvali's kind of useless now. I can protect here. I should have just raw Moonblasted now that I'm thinking about it, but... yeah, that gets rid of that. He knows his win cons, but I still think Silvali's useless now. It's not useless, but it's useless. I can go Silvally. Flare Blitz, that's damage. Nice damage, nice damage. Yup. And then next one does 12. How much does U-turn do? How much does U-turn do to Darmanitan? Darmanitan. Not enough. HP Steel does 15. Oh, but he's got to be HP invested, right? That's very scary for me. I mean, I still... Darmanitan is his sack. Which means... is Earthquake the play? Or is Heavy Slam the play? Because no matter what, I think I go into Primarina. Because I have not revealed the HP Steel yet. And I don't think Guzzlord can go for anything that would OHKO me. Maybe Hammer Arm, Guzzlord. But actually, I'll be in Rock's range next time, or knockoff range next time I come in. Does Earthquake OHKO, or does Earthquake? Because that forces. If I click Earthquake, that forces in Guzzlord. That forces in Guzzlord. And then I can go Primarina. Oh, he just went raw. Man went raw Guzzlord. Okay. If I frustration there, I think I won. What does he click, though? I can go on to this. I can go on to, Prim. Oh, man, this is a very hard-fought battle. Back and forth, back and forth. Connor's doing some great plays here. Actually, Earthquake telling me 22 to Guzzlord. Does not confirm max HP, or does confirm max HP? I just got a min roll on that. That's unfortunate. Rocks would have been amazing early game. If this king gets knocked off, I lose, so I have to go Primarina. Yep, that's fine. This isn't Choice Scarf, even if it is. I don't have to worry about it. Do I HP Steel here? No, I think I have the Draco. Alright, Draco. Right? I click Draco here 100%, right? It's times like these where I wish I had Dragon Pulse. Draco. Okos. But if he goes Darmanitan, that's kind of a problem. He might go Darmanitan. Oh. He doesn't sack this, right? Oh, I'm so afraid. Does he sack this? If I get this 50-50 wrong, I lose. Because if he sacks Darmanitan, which he should here, in my opinion, maybe not. I mean, I think I want Noivern in regardless. So I think because how much does does HP Steel do enough? Okay, so I Draco, right? I think I click Draco. I Draco here no matter what. Or, yeah, okay, so this is what happens, right? Is he Choice Banded? I think he might be Choice Banded, actually. Now that I'm looking at it. Because this is what happens, right? I Draco. What does he go into? Carbink? Because if he goes into Carbink now, then I HP Steel, and I think Frustration can still win me the game. I think it can still win me the game. I just need to live an attack from Guzzlord, which I don't know if I can. Because I think Carbink still lives. I'm just Dracoing. Ooh, Darmanitan. I should have U-turned. Damn it. I mean, even then, doesn't matter. How much does Moonblast from Carbink do? Noivern, right? Calvin. Oh, okay. I need to also see. Does hold on. Miltank to Carbink Body Press. That doesn't kill. And then I can kill with... Okay, so I think the game plan is no matter what, go into Miltank. Because, well, how much does Moonblast do to Noivern? It does 45 to 53, which it doesn't kill, but with Life Orb it does. At -2, HP Steel does 25 to 30%. I think no matter what, I go into Miltank, and then I click Earthquake, no matter what. Because that has a possibility to a KO. Because even if he's... Ooh, maybe... Wait, okay, hold on, pause. If he's max defense, then that's a problem. If he's max defense, bold. Then Miltank takes 59 to 70. I think I risk it anyway. Because I need to not be at -2. And the Toxic will bring me down. So Ellie's the play. Body Press. Do I live? I do. I do indeed live. Okay. Endgame. How does endgame work here? Do I Heavy Slam? Do I Earthquake? I think actually what I do is I Frustration for the chip. Because that tells me he's max special defense. And if he is max special defense with a Spadef nature, then Noivern does minimum 49.6%, which he will be at... No, he won't. He'll be at 52. Actually, no, with frustration damage, he will be. I have frustration here. I have frustration, HP Steel, and hope I land a Draco. That is the play. I have not revealed HP Steel yet, so I think that's what's going to keep me in the game, is we're not revealing HP Steel. Because no matter what, I have frustration, and then I can HP Steel afterwards, and then Draco. I think that is the play. I hope that is the play. The Toxic Mist was pretty crucial, I think, though, because that let me keep another sack. But Scarf Miltank in turn 1 is amazing. That allowed me to play a little bit more defensively. Get the 50-50 right, Connor. I don't think it's a 50-50, though, no matter what. Because as long as I get chip damage on this... I mean, I 2-hit KO Guzzlord with frustration anyway. Right, I did click frustration, right? Frustration, yes. I click frustration here, HP Steel, then hopefully I hit a Draco. But if he goes into Guzzlord here, then that makes my life easier. But that's the wrong move. I think he has to stay in. I think he has to stay in here and hit me with a move. And then I have to go Noivern, HP Steel. Does HP Steel into U-turn kill Guzzlord? At 50 at max HP, no defense. What is he at? 46. It has a chance if... nice, actually. That's nice. I don't think the crit mattered. I just clicked it again. This does... How much does this do? To Carbink one last time. I win. I think I win here. Frustration damage. Moonblast. Unless he's Assault Vest, which he's not. He's leftovers. I win. GG, man. Let's go! Yes! Yes! Oh my god, I'm so happy. Woo! Yes! He thought he had it in the bag. Oh my god. I hit it for so long. Oh my god. Yeah, I never wanted to click HP Steel once because I didn't want him to think it. But man, that was a fantastic game. A fantastic game. Wow. Holy shit. Oh, my heart feels so much better. I was so afraid because, oh my god. Alright, yeah. I think I misplayed a lot. I think I should have HP Steeled on the the first switch in to Carbink. I should have HP Steeled on the first switch to Carbink. Hindsight's 2020. Oh my god. Oh, I feel so much better. I was so afraid of this match. But man, what can I say other than your Lucky Luxrays are now 8-1, which means we are still number 2 in the playoff bracket, assuming Flo wins. If Flo loses, then if Flo loses, then I go back to number 1, which is awesome. But yeah, GG's. GG, Connor. Oh, I'm shaking. Oh my gosh. Awesome match. Wow, that was back and forth. Wow. Oh. But yeah, like I said, your Lucky Luxrays are now 8-1. Number 2 in the Sword Division. Next week we go against my good buddy Vic. He hasn't been on the channel yet, but he's a friend of me, Robin, Flo, and a couple of our other friends. So it'll be a very fun time battling him. He is gunning. He needs to win his next 3 matches, which is against the top 3 people, I think. Me, Calvin, and Flo. So if he wins those, then he can pretty much get into playoffs, I think. No, not me, Calvin, Flo. Me, Calvin, and William, which is 3 of the top 4. So he has his work cut out for him. But thank you guys all for watching, and I will see you next week when we go against Vic. Take care.